Do, 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 do. Hello, hello. I apologize for such a late live. Got a quick update. Sing to me. I wish I could sing. uh, I'm jumping on real quick. I got a phone call from Farmer Ted. Seems like, hey, David, good to see you. It seems like, what is this? Air is my birthday. um, so I got a phone call from the farmer where I went today live, and he's a bit concerned. Um, Apparently, um, I've either upset whatever's roaming up there. Well, that's what I'm. Let me back up. I think that's what happened. I think I went up there and stirred up a storm. He said about a half hour ago, he called me. He said a half hour before that, he said he heard deep growls and screaming, and something beat on the barn so hard that it sounded like it broke boards. And of course, like I said, he called me right away. Um, his daughter, she called someone to come pick her up. She said she's not staying there. So I'm contemplating whether to go up there tonight. I'm thinking about getting dressed and going up there. Um, but I wanted to let you guys know that I feel like I stirred something up. No, I haven't had a chance. When I got back today, I got a phone call and by a local that's in the courts and asked me would I do a little side job for them, Fourth of July and the next day, and I told him. So I had to go up there take care of some business, and when I got back, it was late, and then we went to dinner. But I'm getting ready. If I don't go up to the farm tonight, I'm going to sit down and go through everything. My apologies. It's been nonstop since I've gotten back. Okay, I will. Oh my, that worries me. Hey, Mark, good to see you. Hello to everyone in chat. Let me see who else have I missed? Okay, I know it's late, guys. I wanted you guys to know what's going on. Entities, okay. You know, Mrs. Linda, I seen a solid ball-headed gray spirit, um, in two different locations. Yeah, that's what I felt about the spirit. It was definitely odd, but his skin was gray, and he was about my height. Actually, like me, like bald headed, didn't have any facial hair, but he was skinny, and he kept peeking around. Both times I caught him peeking around the tree, and I just found it really odd because normally when I see a spirit, I see them in their what they would be before they passed. I guess you could say. This was very odd, very gray looking. Oh my goodness! Yes, I did. I'm sorry. I am sorry. Can, Ooh, what in my mouth? Um, hey guys, hey Tammy. I know it. I know it. I don't do it on purpose. I got back. I beat the storm home. Got my bike put away. Jumped in the shower and totally just forgot. And I apologize. Um, let's plan something tomorrow if you're not busy, please. Please, I am so sorry. Man, I just can't. Tack myself down 5 seconds. You ask anybody that knows me, I am horrible at remembering things. I go. It takes me 5 seconds, and then I'm ruined. Hey Tammy, good to see you. Good evening. Blessings to you. I don't know. I'm thinking, guys. I feel like I need to go up there, but I'm not really prepared. Um, there are 2 pages of screenshot. Okay, I'll check them out before I go up there. That way, at least I'll see something before if I do go up, is what I'm saying. Um, what was I going to tell you? So Ted tells me, he says, if you do decide to come up, hey Rob, good to see you. He said, if you do decide to come up, he said, we're going to get on the tractor and ride back where I'm hearing it. I'm thinking, okay, that sounds good, but then it doesn't. I don't know. I have the whole, yeah, I seen so many elementals up there. It was crazy. Um, I seen a lot of no names too, a lot of new beings and elementals that I've never seen before. Um, but I think to do this to be smart about this whole thing, I don't think I should go up there tonight. Um, he said that the growls are out of this world. Bill, we set up a community page today. I'm going to post some screenshots from ask questions. Get that was up. Awesome, David. Yeah, I'm gonna check that out. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go over there and check that out. Thanks for that info. Yeah, I don't think so. I'm gonna wait. That's what I keep hearing. Well, I keep hearing, don't go, don't go. And he said that the growls. He said he knows for a fact they're coming from that field or that cornfield where I walked out on the live. He said it's over in that vicinity, in that corner. Yeah, that's the other thing, Rob. I could go in there with a bazooka and I still wouldn't feel comfortable. Hey, Mr. Carson, good to see you, sir. Blessings to you. Just said they are working things out. Yeah, I, I got this strange feeling though, Mrs. Linda, and it's not so much strange. Just yeah, yeah. That's what I told Farmer Ted. I said, I think I stirred them up or I upset them, and uh, what I'm hearing tonight is the grouse. I said I never heard the grouse. Number of things. Um, so I've lost train of thought. I keep hearing things. Give me going to go back and review the video again and see what I missed. I was drowsy the first time. Oh, you're good, Mark. You're good. There was so many different things going on in there. I definitely saw three different Sabi, but it was right in the beginning when I went in. It's on. I think it'll be on the second video, part two of the video I recorded going in there. Um, and it also could have been on the live, so I'm not 100%. I did so much videoing and then did the live that I kind of lost track. But when I first went in on live, I was going up the edge. I was going up in the center woods. I heard a light growl, but I didn't say anything because right at the same time, I was having mind speak and I heard a bunch of jibber jabber. And then I heard like four different conversations coming at me. Yes, I did too, Mr. Carson. I was telling Mrs. Linda that I seen a gray guy, a gray skinned guy, bald head like me, my height, and I seen him in two different locations. And each time he was peeking around the tree. And the second time I actually caught him peeking around the tree out at me. But I was telling Mrs. Linda that when I see spirits, I see them like as if they, how they were before they passed, as they were humans in regular. If I don't see them all white, I see them with color. They don't. They're not gray. I found that really odd. I've never seen a spirit solid gray. And as far as I could think and remember, I could not see through it. So I don't. I'm not. I don't know. I guess I can't say 100% it was a spirit, but I've never seen a being gray like that other than Asabe, and I saw that at the public land. But this was not Asabe. This was a skinny. It looked human. It looked like a spirit, and it was right after I heard the growl. There was a group enclosed, like people dressed. Okay, I know I've seen. I went back and I spotted two Indians. Um, I seen two Indians, and then I saw a young girl way back, almost before I walked out into the cornfield. Yeah, it was. It was. I seen a little girl, maybe about 4.5 foot tall, and it kind of reminded me of the little girl that Mrs. Linda and I was looking at the other day. Um, of the screenshots that Mrs. Linda found. Hey, Mr. RG, good to see you, sir. Blessings. Yeah, see, I only spotted the two, and then the little girl possibly being a juvenile Indian. But she looked at me really quick and disappeared. And that was the only time I got an uneasy feeling, besides the light growl. The light growl didn't bother me as much. Yeah, yep, yes, yes, yep, Mr. Carson, that's exactly. Skinny gray, yes. And both times I seen it peeking around the tree, but the second time I saw it was in it like 50 yards back more, and I caught it peeking around the tree at me. It did just like this with my head. It went, and then it went back quick. Maybe a little. It went this slow out, and then it went back quick, and then I didn't see it anymore. It's like it just disappeared. But right as that went, when I actually got to see it move the second time, is when I had the mind speak and I had chatter, and then I heard like 3 to 4 conversations at one time, and then I heard screaming at me. Some, uh, I don't know if it was a spirit or if it was Sabe. I don't believe it was Sabe because it was stop, slow, stop. And then the second time it said slow, it screamed at me, and I kept locking up after that. If you guys noticed, I'd get in one area and just sit there and talk, and I couldn't push forward. And then I realized that I was doing that, and then I started pushing forward. I started using some of my tools, and I got through it. But I didn't hear it anymore the rest of the time I was in there. Um, yeah, the recording it just popped up a moment ago. That's the beginning as I got out of my dad's truck and was walking in. I only put that on because I almost stepped on a black racer, a black snake. It's right at the end of the video. That is a very bad spirit. Have seen this thing before. It has bad objectives. Bad. You know, when I just the way it looked alone, and I usually don't judge anything by its looks, but without communicating with it. But I got no communication with it. I tried to, and it wasn't having it. And I honestly think that it thought that it ducked me out and that I didn't see it. But I don't know. Billy, there was full of name. Yes, it was, Mark. It was so many when I first walked up to the middle of the woods to my right where the deer stands were. It was loaded, loaded. But that's also where I saw the three Sabi, and they were huddled up together. right by a tree or a log. I can't remember, but I spotted them over top the phone with my eyes. And when I put the phone on them, then I could see them better. And normally I don't. It's usually the other way around. But um, Mr. Ted is he is really worked up, and of course, I'd be nothing but honest with him. And I told him, I said, I think it was because I came in there, and it does not need to talk to you. It could care less what you do or what you want to do. I got you. I got you. It was just, basically what I was saying. I just wanted to see if I could get anything back in return from it, and it wasn't having it. It reminds me of um, the one I had on video and the one Ben had on video. Two different countries. I mean, that blew my mind. That that didn't give me any attention, nor the Sabe that was walking across from me that marked timestamp with his arm swinging. Um, yeah, that was probably the eeriest feeling I ever had in the woods that day. It poured down rain. It got real windy. It was a eerie day. But when I realized I was closer to Route 301 major highway at the back of the farm, I hadn't realized I walked that far. So I'm a little suspicious about that. I'm missing a little bit of time right there, which is odd for me, as far as I know. It torments us. I mean, all good. Oh wow. Well, I'm gonna have to work on getting that joker out of there, um, or stay far clear from it. Um, when I got all the way back to Route 301, I felt more comfortable. Like I said though, I didn't have anything that really made me feel out of place or I shouldn't be there. The only spot that happened, like I said, is when I got out to the edge of that cornfield and I seen that little girl. And I don't think it was her, but I started to go left and go towards Mr. Ted's daughter's house. It is full time. Yes, it is, Mr. RG. That is a fact. Um, but I got a better grip on things than I did in the beginning. I feel that I do. I feel comfortable enough. I know that. Um, and I don't question it. Hey, Danny, good to see you. Blessings to you. Uh, but when I got on that field, on that cornfield edge, and I was gonna, it was making you feel comfortable. Oh, I got you. I got you. When I got on that cornfield edge, my intention was to go left and walk to the next corner, and then go back into the woods and go to Mr. Ted's daughter's. But as soon as I got the thought to do that, I turned and I seen the little girl, and then I got this dread that just came over me, and I just turned around without even realizing and headed back the other way. And once I got around by the deer stand where I was showing everybody that big, like, looked like a playhouse on apartment, um, I realized that I'd been turned around, but I didn't say anything. Um, Yeah, it was interesting at times back there. Now, see, I went on the west side of that property purposely. The hedge line that I walked up in the beginning, that the video had just come up a few minutes ago, um, that hedge line going all the way into the property. There's more structures and language in that probably 50-foot wide hedgerow that's about a mile long. There's more in that hedgerow than it is on the whole property. The cornfields must be avoided. Do not get drawn into it, please. Okay, I won't. Thank you for that. It and here's another thing about that, Mr. Carson. Where I walked out onto the edge of the field, that's the problem. It kind of what it does is it split because and when you go back into the left, like going back into the woods, it goes back to Mr. Ted's. But I want to stay out there, you know, full respect thing. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go up tomorrow, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into Mr. Ted's to his home, and I'm gonna park, and I'm just gonna walk across his yard, and I'm gonna go straight in to where the barn is. He said they were slapping the barn tonight so hard. I say they, I don't know what. He said it slapped it so hard or beating on it that it sounded like it broke some of the oak boards on the side of the barn. And he said then it stopped, and then about 300 yards out, he just feels that it keeps coming from the field. But he said some of the loudest screaming and growls he's ever heard. He said worse than it's been. And I just felt instantly that, I stirred it up, which I expected. I expect some type of feedback from him or whatever it is. I'll tell you what I think it is, but I won't name it. You guys know what I've been calling him. I think it's one of them or a pair of them or maybe even a tribal. And I'm like Miss Linda, things to a head, and I think Savi's trying to get rid of them or is in the process of getting rid of them, and they're giving them a little bit of resistance. And I seen a couple back there today in the old creek bed, and the tracks were very narrow, and we seen three toes. And it's clear that okay, I got you on it. Yep, and I did, Rob. I crossed it momentarily, and then I think I even spoke about it on live, and then I turned around and went the other way, without notice, and then I realized something turned me around. I know, Gino. Good seeing you. Blessings to you. Much love. I got a phone call from the farmer that I went up today. I was telling everybody, and it's the activity is ramped up. Sounds like times 10. Uh, Mr. Ted he's not like upset, mad. He's concerned. And I was talking to Mrs. Linda about Mr. Carson, what I should do about going up there tonight or not. I'm not going to go tonight. I'm not prepared. I'm definitely when I go at dark, I'm going to take somebody with me. Um, but I'm going up there tomorrow, and I was telling everybody I'm going to go to Mr. Ted's house and approach it from a different area. I agree, Mr. RG. I definitely agree. I was going to call Gigi, but it's um, they usually go to bed around 9, and I'm gonna wait until the morning to call him and let him know what's going on. I got a feeling he's gonna want to go up with me. Of course, I can't get him on camera. That I haven't asked him, and it's not something that I would ask him. Um, yeah, I can't, Miss Bart, for that because I appreciate that telling me because I'm not fully familiar with the and there's 600 more acres that I haven't walked on yet, and to go in where he wants me to go, I can't do that. Um, but I know Gigi's going to want to go with me tomorrow as soon as I tell him because I've had him involved since the day he called me, and I know he's going to go in and with me tomorrow because I didn't get to tell the story, and and then he also told me, be vigilant and be ready. So face to face with him. He had one. He was on his tractor. Is he breaking up at me? It could be me. I don't know. Oh yeah, it is me. Let me see if I can move around. This always happens when I'm having issues with one of them or something. If you guys notice, um, he was on the tractor, Rob, and he was coming down the field edge, and he seen a very big body. I think they're buffering me. Every time I get into these situations, it affects everything that I use, including, well, it used to be me too, but now um, I'm able to keep it off of me. But it definitely messes with my electronics. Um, what was I saying? Oh, yeah, Billy, your weapons held it off, but your yeah, I stirred the hornet's nest. Yep, it will be very angled now. Yep, very angled. Yeah, and Mr. Carson, I think that my best bet is to take GG with me tomorrow because I know he's going to tell. I can hear him right now. Um, no worries, I'll go with you. I know it, and he'll that'll make me feel comfortable. Um, but I know he's got something in his belt that it'll at least push him back. If it doesn't run him out, it'll definitely push him back. But um, Rob S. He was on a tractor riding the field edge, and he said he something told him to look, and when he looked, he seen this 7 to 8. He said it's between 7 and 8 foot tall, about 4.5, 5 foot wide, just dark body, just run through the woods. He said that it was it was right up on the field edge, watching him come to him in the tractor. He said when he got within like 40 yards, he said he just watched it sprint back in the woods. He said, and from that day on, all kinds of commotion started at the farm. But I think it's more than just the Sabo that he saw. I think there's other things going on there, and I think there's a big battle. And now that I've gone up there, I think like Mr. Carson and Mrs. Linda said, I've stirred the pot, and I've got the hornet's nest stirred. So I'm gonna take Gigi up there with me. It'll probably be real early in the morning. He moves early. He gets up like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'll probably give him a call like 4:30, 5 o'clock, and we'll go up there. But I'm gonna go to Mr. Ted's house and park, and I'm gonna go straight across his yard and go back. Carson Billy sent you the little. Okay, thank you so much. When I get off of here, I'm going right on there and looking at everything. Um, but I did. I found footprint up there. I found three of them, and they were right in a row in that dried up creek bed, and it was a narrow foot. Did you know the land's history, its past, very important? I know that Mr. Ted is 67 years old. His dad owned it before him, and then his dad's dad owned it. But they don't know anything beyond that. And I tried looking up the history of the land before that, and I got nothing. But I do know that the Indians lived. See, that's the backside of my mom and dad. So the Indians lived the Lenny. I think they're called the Lenny. The Lennies. Uh, they lived there, and they lived basically almost where Mr. Ted's house is, because it's high ground. It's higher ground than where I was. He's like up on a hill, and his daughter's right behind him. And then it swoops down to where I was, and out to those fields and ponds. And but that's all I know about it at this point. I'm sure Gigi knows more than I know about it because they know every farm. They know the history behind every farm, and it blows my mind when we go somewhere. We'll ride by somebody's farm that I only know back 150 years about the household name, and he'll say, "Oh well, such such." they lived here. This was a plantation, and I'm just like, I just stare at him and try to. I'm like a sponge. I just absorb everything. Yes, that's it. That's it, Mr. Carson. That's it. Yep, you nailed it. That's right. What does that say? Yep, that's it. And what I read about them, um, they weren't warriors in this area. They didn't do a lot of fighting. They just lived off the land, and I don't understand it. I mean, maybe I'm misled on it. I have not talked to Gigi about that tribe, but I will tomorrow for sure. Looks like a good soul. Yeah, yeah. That's why well, now I'm not confused because once Mr. Carson told me about what that gray skinny guy was doing there, it makes sense because remember in the live I kept saying I felt like I had all eyes on me. Well, I felt like something was following me the whole entire time. And I did have the footsteps, heavy footsteps quartering me. But that didn't worry me. That wasn't bothering me. I expected that. That happens every time I go in. There was something else following me and it was almost like if you can imagine someone knocking on the back of your head or that's the feeling I get. And it was very strange. But when I hit that field edge, I instantly stopped and I went back. And it was after I seen the little girl, but I didn't. I thought about her first, and I'm like, that wasn't her that made me do that. I almost, when I saw her in a playful way. She was like ducking in and out of the trees, and she went back into the hedge line, and then I didn't see her anymore. Guys, if it stays okay, I did talking to you guys in my head. It seemed like it helped. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm up there early in the morning. I told Mr. Ted to call me if he has any more problems. Gaining knowledge of them, all tribes people are there to assist you. Mine. Okay. All right, Mr. Carson. Thank you, sir. Yep. I definitely dropped the ball there because I read a little bit on them, but I didn't go any further because I found out that they were staying up in the area where I went, where Mark spotted the Savi walking across from me, and where the where the capital C guy was standing in between us. Um, Apparently, they lived that land for a very long time, and many tribes. And I read a little bit on it because it was on the public land website, but I didn't go into depth, and I should have. And I also should have asked Fiji right away about it, but I got tied up with other things with him, and I got sidetracked. But tomorrow I will find out because I know from what I've been learning that it's very important. And I with seeing the Indians that I saw today, I should have already known to come right home and do my research, and I didn't. But tomorrow I'm going to start making some ground on this because Mr. Ted needs some clarity. He needs help, and the what I it just hurts me the most is when somebody's lived on their land their whole life, and he's at the age he's at, and he doesn't even like to farm or go outside and just do his normal everyday activities without looking over his back. And his daughter won't even feed the cat anymore, whether it's daylight or not. I need to help these people. And who better could I have beside me? Are you guys and Gigi? I we can we can do wonders for these people. We're already doing them, and this can be sewn up and put to rest. I feel. I really didn't expect him to call me tonight. I thought things would stay calm for at least a night or so, but it was sad. When I seen his number pop up, I knew instantly. Why not say the protective prayer over his immediate house? Yeah, I was going to talk to you about that tomorrow too. I should have started at his house. Most Indian people pass through ritual to the next level. The one you see may be medicine people's. Okay, all right, that makes a lot of sense. Mr. Carson, that's funny you said that. When I, however, we can help, let us know. Okay, Mr. RG, definitely. But Mr. Carson, when I first went up to Gigi's place, I was sitting. I think I told you guys this before. I was sitting in my truck the first day I got there. I had so many emotions, and when I got through that point, that first stage of just introducing myself to his land, once I got out, I know you're going to totally understand this and get this. I saw so many spirits, so many Indian spirits. Literally, I couldn't see the background. That's how many was standing around me up there. And I went to tell Gigi, and he chuckled and said, he grabbed me by the arm and said, "Follow me." And I couldn't say anything else. I've never been anywhere else, any other land, and saw that. Never. I'm talking 35, 40 easily right in front of me, but like spread out. It was like it was a welcoming. I couldn't stop crying. It was the most amazing uh, feeling and experience I've ever had. We'll send you by mail the Indian screenshots. Many. Okay. Thank you, Mrs. Linda. I just got goosebumps from retelling that story. This sets me into a tearful way. Cold chills of joy. Yes. That's how I just got goose. I'm getting them now. Uh, they're standing up on my arms. And generally that means I have someone standing with me now. It's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Every time I go to Gigi's, I don't want to leave, and I don't have to. He's told me before. Pull a cot, come on up and stay a while. Oh gosh, I love each and every one of them. Miss it's beautiful. It's wonderful. This journey, it's the most beautiful thing I've ever experienced in my life, besides my children being born, and it's right there with it. They are with you now. Welcome them. Thank you, Mr. Carson. I am right now. When I get this over my head, it feels like fingers running through my hair lightly, my my scalp. Whew. I know. I call it my angel. I know. I know it's right there with me. But when it goes through here, I feel like I'm coming off the ground. I feel like I'm levitating. Someday, Mr. RG, if that's a hard nut to crack. I don't know who I can bring around. but I would love to bring all of you. That would be yeah, it is, It is. Since it is late today. I thought you were kidding with me. Happy birthday. I am so sorry. It's everybody, it's Mrs. Linda's birthday. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Oh man. But the dark one is very strong. Hard. Okay. I am so grateful I talked to you tonight. Mm. It was odd from the jump, Mr. Carson. I knew it. I knew it in my heart and my soul that it wasn't right. Oh, you're fine, Mr. RG. And I wasn't kidding. I wish I could take you all in for one great experience. Yep. Man, there's nothing like getting on here talking to you guys. I get out of tune and you put me right back in tune every time. No, no, you're young. You're young. Hard as you work, you're not old. You work harder than the average teenager today. Of course, that kids today don't know nothing about work, but you know what I mean. Some do. I take that back. And see, Mark, that's what I'm saying. My right arm is still. Happy birthday, a special day for all of us. Blessed with you. Thank you, Lord, for giving Linda to us in the world. Thank you. Thank you, God. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. RG is Mr. RG is 6 months younger than I am. Youngster. There you go. Uh, Mrs. Linda, you, Mr. RG, and Dad all in the same bracket. Oh, I get, I get, I get like it every time, Mrs. Linda. It's it's like I just walked out from there. Every time I think about it, before I can even tell the story, I cry. It keeps me humble. Hey, brother Mike. Oh, Brown door calls on Mr. Archie Pops. I wouldn't dare. I wouldn't dare. No crying in baseball or Sasquatch. That's right. That's right. Yes, she is. Mrs. Linda the legend. Long Island Mike. Brother Mike. The GOAT. Boy, when I got home today, I had 8 ticks on me. I had two on one shoulder. I had one on the backside of my knee. And then on top of my foot, I had one. And then I had some somewhere else. Oh, down by my belly button. And they were all tiny. I mean, tiny. I had military grade spray on. I don't get it. Them things, they are fearless of any spray. It's like they I don't know. It's like they drink it or something. I don't know. Yeah, it's awful. I found one in a place nobody. That's it. I've had that. I've had the hitchhikers on in the unknown. That's for sure. When I was at Quantico training, oh my! Every night I was pulling them off me. Yeah, that. Yep. Yeah, I guess they have a white like circle in their backs. I always called them deer ticks. I knew you were going to say Billy Button. Yeah, I don't know what it is, but that's like I always get one there every year. It seems like. Yep. Well, guys, I don't want to keep you guys on all night. It's bad enough I got you out here at midnight, like we're going to a party or something. I just wanted to let you guys know what was going on up at Mr. Ted's, and I'm definitely hitting it first thing in the morning. I'm gonna call Gigi and get him on board and up to date on everything. And I know already he's gonna tell me to pick him up, and we're gonna go right up there. And I'm gonna do a walk around first, and then I'll if everything's good and Gigi doesn't mind, I can't put him on camera, but unless he tells me otherwise, I don't see it happening. Stick from fire with burning ember, ticks be gone. There you go. Look at them. Okay, I will. Definitely, I will. This is how we party. That's right, Rob. Call me when you get time so we can. Okay, I will, Mike. Absolutely. Absolutely, brother. Bring my vibration down. That's right. Really good luck. Thank you, Mark. I, excuse me. That's what I was going to say. I get up there and get straight, and if Gigi approves, um, all jokes aside, if I can go live, I definitely will. But if not, I'll definitely be videoing. Um, but I want to let Gigi have his room and let him venture in and see what he feels and what we got going on there. And then after that, I'll jump out there. Most people only know how to set their phones to vibrate. No, I I got to keep mine on ringer because I don't feel it when it vibrates. I just bet, and I hardly hear it ring half the time. But I keep it now. I keep it up here on my shirt pocket if I got a pocket on my shirt. But if I don't, I keep it on that phone case and I can hear it. I got the loudest ring. Good night. Oh, okay, guys. Billy, call me anytime if you need it. 20. Okay, I will, Miss Carson. I'll be giving you a call tomorrow too. I'll give you a call and let you know what we come up with. And thank you so much. I'm so appreciative for each and every one of you. You guys have a good night. I love you guys. I'll see you on the next one. I know, and I'll be on tomorrow while I'm there, somewhere along the line. You guys take care.